What up, Sammy? How you doing, man?
Good. What is going on, everybody? Monday, Gary is back.
It's no news Monday.
No news Monday. And we actually have a busy week ahead of us, though, because we have a conference that we're flying out to today, the SALT conference, which is till Wednesday. That'll generate some news. The DNC is going on right now. Bitcoin seems to be pretty, in my opinion, pretty boring, I guess, today, unless you have a differing opinion.
There's just no action. It's weird. It's weird. Should be setting up for something. It's got to get over 63 for it to move. It's either going to break down or it's going to bust up above 63. The lows keep, in my opinion, the lows keep coming in a little bit higher. So that's good. But I suspect that there are some very, very sophisticated players buying large volumes of Bitcoin through an algorithm. And whereas you probably have some other players who are selling into that market, but they're selling, okay, I want to sell 4 Bitcoin. I want to sell 1 Bitcoin. And they don't do it as methodically as the algorithms. It's my belief that Saylor shared his algorithm with a lot of people. And that's really smart of him because it creates a market where people, where the volume gets really, really well hidden by building a complex model that allows them to buy 1/10 of a Bitcoin at, a fraction of a penny. Anyway, it's just very methodical, whereas you could have some people like a guy like me. I'm not going to go build an algorithm and buy 10 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Now, maybe it should. Okay. But these guys are buying 1,000. So these ETFs, the inflows are here. We're seeing very high quality players. Goldman stuck 500 million on their balance sheet. And gold's responding very well right now. Well, it was over the weekend and prior to the weekend. Let me just take a look at it here.
I didn't know Saylor used an algorithm, by the way. He has his own algorithm to buy.
Yeah. That's how you don't ever see him with his volume. He's buying like what? Why does he care? See, this is the beauty of Bitcoin. Someone trying to buy $30 worth of gold. Gold today is priced at $25.04. Okay. If I wanted to buy a 1/10 of an ounce of gold, it would cost me far more than $2,500 divided by 10. It would probably be 2,500 divided by 10 plus 30%. So
where's the 30% come from?
Well, because think about a vat of gold that's been melted down. Is it easier to melt that down and stamp it with Switzerland 0.999 in 1,000 ounces or in 0.1 ounce? So the more you do manufacturing, gold has to be manufactured. Unlike Bitcoin, like 1/100th of a Bitcoin will cost you exactly the same amount as 1,000 Bitcoin, right? In other words, you're not getting a price advantage or disadvantage for buying really, really small pieces of it. Unlike gold, which requires heavier manufacturing for you to break that down into a little tiny piece, a sliver of gold that you might share in a consumer event, $100, $50, $10. Imagine that, right? So it's really interesting that Bitcoin affords the luxury of somebody buying $30 to be able to buy it at the same exact price as Michael Saylor. Find me a market that works like that. You will not find one, dude. Not one in the world where you can buy. Go into a grocery store, go to Procter & Gamble and say, hey, I want to buy wholesale. I want to buy a wholesale. I want to buy 1 piece of bubble gum, and I want the wholesale price that you give to CVS. They're going to say, fuck off. Yeah. Now you can buy a whole container of it. Okay. So think about, is there any product in the world that you can buy 1/10 or 1,000 of them and it's all the same price? And you're going to find that does not happen anywhere on the planet, anywhere with any product of any kind of volume whatsoever, which is remarkable to me. That's why I don't understand why people aren't doing $50 buys a day or $50 buys a week or whatever. So, but it's been, the truth is, dude, it's been a no news cycle for the last 4 or 5 days. All we're doing is fucking churning the thing. Kamala's drunk. This is what I've gotten in the last week from being in the Bahamas. Kamala's a drunk. Israel's destroying everything. I mean, dude, have we seen a Budweiser moment for a religion or ethnicity?
For a country?
Jewish.
I saw 40,000 people. 40,000 Palestinians are dead. I saw the number the other day. I was like, what, 40,000?
But, Sam, the truth is you don't really know. See,
no, you
this
don't.
Is my problem with all these war spaces and YouTubes. Like, dude, I don't know. Like sometimes I see a refinery being blown up and it's 10 years ago. Like I just think there's a lot of bad information out here. Unless somebody can walk in here. I mean, I was in a space this weekend and it was they, them, they're doing this, they're doing that. All you got to do is go, please explain to me who they are. And then you realize they is a ghost for them. They don't really know. I'm not saying that they're not out there, but I'm not going to walk around every day talking about a ghost. We know Kamala's broken. We know the entire political system's broken. How many times do I have to hear it? Okay. Now, what I do find interesting is it's all chaos. There is no positive news. Have you heard any positive news, man?
No.
Fucking none. It is bad news on steroids. I'm going to have monkeypox, right? Dude, I don't have sex with guys. I don't know how I'm going to get monkeypox. Okay. I think monkeypox is spread sexually, right? Or I guess I got to go kiss somebody or something. I don't even know if any of this shit's real. COVID wasn't real. COVID was a flu. I don't trust anybody, anything, unless you show up with data, dude. Blueprint. I mean, I got a class action suit over bullshit, dude. People can just claim anything they want now. So it's a really weird time. It seems like if you're successful, you need to reserve legal money for legal fees. And I don't know, man. Maybe 3 white people were stabbed in London again this weekend. I mean, that's all the news I'm hearing, right? I don't hear any positive news, and I can't believe there's not positive news out there.
Well, and to one of the comments we just got, the only big headline that I saw was that Kamala Harris is calling for price controls. And that even the CNNs of the world, I know even the CNNs of the world were like, whoa, what are we talking about? And that's how you know she probably does believe that. I bet you the news media is in favor of price controls, but they're worried about how the public's going to interpret it. And so then you have Trump posting a photo with Kamala and the giant Soviet Union flag right in front of her, talking about price controls. The fact that they're being so bold about just strict government intervention, like I guess we know it already happens, so no one should be surprised. But to just be like, hey, this is a good thing. Like, we need price controls. I'm like, oh, is that where we're headed? Is that where the conversation's going?
Yeah, well, price controls are about the worst thing you can do. It is just another form of prohibition. Prohibition has never worked in history, dude. Even the clamping down of slaves. People are going to migrate for their freedom, dude. This is the animals would do the same thing. They're going to migrate where the resources are richer, deeper, broader, and more available. And this is why I always say, hey, it's not really the price of your resources, it's how much you have. If you have more resources than other people, it doesn't really matter what it costs. As long as it's cheaper than everyone else's and in abundance. But this concept of price control stops all innovation. Like, if you stick price controls on my brother on apartment buildings, like, you want to see the fucking market get fucked up, dude. Market will get crushed. You can't start messing with supply and demand. This is ignorance, okay? This is gross malfeasance, okay? This is someone who has never been in business. any president that would be qualified to make that statement on behalf of a party or a country, dude, they're just dumb as Dallas. Okay, like the price control. I make more money in a price control market. There's no competition when you do that shit, man. And all you do is you invite the oligopolies, the duopolies, and the monopolies. That's all you do is you ensure. And this government, this last 4 years, dude, I have never seen a government that loves monopolies more than this one. And I mean, I can tell you why they like it. Okay. It's a lot easier to deal with 2 or 3 or 4 companies than it is 4,000.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't turn 4,000. It's the law of big numbers. This is why I keep saying, hey, there's 7.5 billion people that are nice people. And there's 500 million people that are fucking crazy as shit. And all we do is argue with each other. Instead of pointing out, hey, there's 500,000 people popping around here they're psychotic, okay? They're sick, they're narcissistic, and they don't believe in people having freedom. And that's what brought me to Bitcoin. Bitcoin was an anarchist move for me. I'm like, hey, something is wrong with this fucking planet. This started in 2016 when I started buying gold. I'm like, I bought 600 AR-15s. I probably bought $30,000 worth of food that would store for 30 or 40 years, maybe more, maybe 50,000. Probably not enough, actually. All that's going up in price, by the way. I could sell all that food right now with a 30-year shelf life on it for more than I bought it for. And then I bought gold and silver and then Bitcoin. And Bitcoin was like, hey, you know what? I think there's going to be a time when I want my freedom. I don't care about that fucking blue passport. I want my freedom. Which is really the way I have come about now of defining a successful life. How much freedom do I have? And I think if everyone were to really look at success and happiness and health, you're going to end up with, hey, I need to be free. I need to have my thoughts. I need to be able to express my thoughts, put them on a piece of paper, put them on a canvas. And just because Christie's and Tiffany's and whoever's there doing art should not stop me from being able to access the market, right? I mean, look, one lady makes one of the greatest paintings on the planet, and you're going to go, well, you're not big enough, you know. No, we're not going to let you have access. Or she's Jewish. No, we're not going to let your art show. This is censorship at the grossest level, okay? Burning books. Dude, I'm getting ready to buy my children. I'm going to start buying like massive amounts of books. Go to these old stores and go, hey, I like 3 encyclopedias, like three categories. Give me everything, every old book you have, dude. Don't burn them. I'll buy them. I will buy a room full of books because one day I think we're going to want books. Like if you look up in my library on the 2nd floor, there's books on military conflicts, on survival, on knots. Like, dude, do you know how to tie a perfect knot? Tying a perfect knot is really, really a valuable skill, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really valuable skill. Had I known how to do my knots better, I wouldn't have lost 7 bonefish in Bahamas. I'm sure that guy was loose tying those fucking hooks. I should have been tying my own damn hooks. I said, bro, you're not tying these hooks well enough, because I'm a really good fisherman. I was just ripping them right out of their face. But I haven't had the training, like these are classes. I mean, I would love to be able to send my kids to a class and go, hey, it's 3 days of fucking knot tying, dude. You're going to come back being the best fucking knot tire on the planet. Or cooking class, or just all kinds of cool things, man, that, you know, you and I could, like, there's just so many things that we've lost with all this convenience and air conditioning and comfort. You know, it may be a comfort thing. We just might have gotten a little too lax, and we're not calling foul on anybody. And if we do call foul, it's just.
Does money always equal freedom, you think?
No, I didn't mean it like that.
I know, but just as like it's something that I hear pretty often.
Well, let's think about it this way, okay? I think about freedom as my ability to be able to say no to anyone fuck you. I ain't doing it, dude. As long as I'm not breaking the rules, right? Like, I live in this country. If I speed, I'm going to pay a speeding ticket. If I park illegally, I'm going to pay the parking ticket and not complain. I'm not going to go in the system and fight it and screw it around. If I drive too badly, they might remove my license one day. Okay, that would be appropriate if I'm inappropriate, right? What I think is wrong is when the government has millions of dollars to ask questions, and they start asking small businesses questions, and the questions never end. There is no metric. There's no, hey, what are we trying to achieve here? When does this end? So for me, freedom is the ability to say no, and then also to be able to say yes. Like, I want to be able to go, to the Bahamas or wherever I want to go and not worry about the price, man. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
That's freedom.
Yeah.
Dude. Okay. Like, oh, I like that shirt. I don't even ask people what it costs. Oh, I love that shirt, dude. Now if it's $1,000, I'm not going to buy it, right?
Yeah.
So, to me, it helps. I've been broke and miserable, and I've been rich and miserable. And rich and miserable, it's actually more challenging than being broke and miserable. But I would much rather being rich and miserable. Okay. Like, at least I don't have to sit there and question what the issues are. Because when you have everything you need, dude, like, at the end of the day, you got to look in the mirror and go, well, I'm fucked up, man. There's something wrong here that's not meeting my, like I tell the story about, I've been married 3 times. I'm not embarrassed to say that to people. I would probably get married again. Well, maybe not married legally, but I like living with one woman. I mean, I clearly didn't pick the right ones, but it's because I didn't apply the same tools that I apply in business. Like, I've never had a failed business. Knock on wood. The reason I say that is because, wow, how can one guy have so many failed marriages and no failed businesses, dude? It's because I applied different technology. I went into the business going, oh, I have to have a lot of responsibility here. I've got people I'm going to hire, and my name. I can't possibly show a failure. That would be so embarrassing. But I literally applied different rules and message. I'm taking responsibility that, oh, wow, okay, well, that's what you get when you don't make a plan. That's what you get when you impregnate someone and don't think about the consequences, which is what happened to me, right? And the funny thing is, I always knew that was available to me. I knew, hey, one day I'm going to get somebody pregnant. I think I've used a condom maybe twice in my whole life. I've just never, I was going, I think I want to have sex. I don't want to have kind of sex. It's actually stunning that I haven't had more children. So anyway, I just think that this freedom thing is being removed from us. Okay. And this is why I'm doing this right here. Like, this is exactly why I'm doing this. Is one day they're not going to let us do it. And go into England and try to do this right now. I'm scared to fly to England, dude, because I think they're a bunch of fucking criminals. And I'm on social media, and they might just look at me and go, hey, you can't come in, or we want you to go to, I don't even know what works. You know what I am figuring out, though? And I learned this weekend, and somebody please correct me. I'm not trying to be like really violent here, but I had no idea that you could, if you're Israeli and you're in the United States, you can get a second passport for Israel, and there is no extradition, dude.
No extradition. So what is extradition?
Extradition is, hey, we think this Gary Cardone, who has a Jewish passport, an Israeli passport, we think he's a pedophile. And I can go, yeah, maybe I am, maybe I ain't, but ain't nothing you can do about it. I'm in Israel. I have a blue passport and I have the Israeli passport. No extradition. Okay, extradition. Roger.
Really?
Bro, go find out. Hey, you know what? I'm starting to learn. I don't know a lot about what's going on here. See, look at what you just did. Now, why would it be that we could go to Spain and grab Roger Ver, who no longer has his passport, fucking rip him back into the United States, What about CZ? I don't think CZ even had a fucking blue passport. Binance, CEO Binance, they did a deal over a weekend. Hey, you're going to come serve time in prison. You're not even a fucking U.S. citizen, dude. So what is that about, right? When did it become okay? If it is, maybe I'm wrong. Audience, please correct me if I'm wrong. But I learned this weekend from several well-known, well-studied people. I could be wrong. It's not my data. But if we don't have extradition with Israel, yet we can have a dual passport, I really struggle with, like, can an Italian get a U.S. citizen get a dual passport in Israel? Or do I have to have an Israeli name? Does it need to be Cardone?
I don't know. But that extradition, I find that very fascinating because normally there's like a small number of countries that we don't have extradition with. And they're like Uruguay, Paraguay, Iran, Cuba, like all the ones where we're clearly not friends with. So then to have a country that we work so closely with not have extradition, that is very interesting to me.
Yeah. The other thing that I would love someone to educate me on, I'm actually scared to learn any of this stuff, but it's becoming really now, it's starting to become pretty fascinating to me. I'm starting to now ask, hey, how does Israel make its money? Like, what resources does it have? You know, you tell me about a country like Nigeria, I'm going to tell you how they make the money. But I actually don't know how Israel generates its, and the messaging there is, hey, they don't. We fund them. Now I don't know if this is right or not, okay? But I don't know what Israel's income streams or come from. It maybe some energy. Probably not a lot of agriculture, right? They're not exporters. It's a tiny little place, man.
I can't even tell you. I'll ask ChatGPT. I know we give them a ton of foreign aid. How much foreign aid does the U.S. give Israel?
It's going to make you vomit, dude.
As of recent data, the United States provides Israel with an approximately $3.8 billion annually in military aid. This amount is a part of a 10-year memorandum of understanding signed in 2016, which allocates a total of $38 billion in military assistance. But that's only military assistance. It's a very good question, actually. And I always hear that number, and I know we give them a lot of military aid. And I also know that we do, I believe, fund a lot of their other programs. But it's very interesting because we also have a very discreet intel sharing relationship with Israel. You know, the dynamic between America and Israel is a very interesting dynamic. It is certainly a unique dynamic. I can tell you that much.
Yeah. I think there's more going on here than, you know, it just seems like, I mean, if we're really honest, every construct that we made in the 20th century is coming unwound. Every alliance, this makes sense too. I said this 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Hey, look, if you're not going to globalize, you're going to destroy every alliance that was made in the prior. I think if you've done a deal in the last 5 years, you might be okay. If you have a partnership, joint venture, bought a company thinking it was going to be the next move for your next 10 years, dude, I think if you've done anything in the last over 3 years, you have a major problem. You need to pivot into this new digital fractured world, or you're going to be carrying so many bags you can't even move. I mean, being big is going to be an issue. I think you're going to have a hard time pivoting. Just think about Excel spreadsheets. Excel spreadsheets at one time was like, I remember when they came about, we fought them, dude. My team fought them. And I'm like, we're not using Excel spreadsheets. We like writing on these big chalkboards. Until we made a monster mistake one Friday night. We missed 3 zeros. 3 zeros on 100 million is $1 billion, by the way. And 5:30 in the afternoon, you're like, fuck, dude, I'm short $500 million to 1 billion cubic feet a day. And Monday, it starts Monday. And these markets move 50 cents a unit. Like, they find you're naked, you're going to get reamed. And we never used the chalkboard ever again. We converted to Excel. This is my point. The Excel spreadsheets today for digital are impossible to manage. Like, we will overwhelm every Excel spreadsheet. These tools that we have from legacy are not capable of doing what we're getting ready to do, which is measure everything we do, man. Absolutely everything we do. Yeah, I got a ticket Friday night. Went to a bar, met some local people. They're trying to raise some money, so I try to go when I can. Parked across the street. Too lazy to do the parking thing. I pop out. Somebody came to the car, put a $35 bill on it, little piece of ticket. There's some little lady with a chalk thing. Dude, none of that's necessary. Okay? They could have literally RFD'd my car, RFD'd the location, and sent a fucking cost to the car. My car could have literally paid them instantly. Boop, boop, bit digits. But see, it's not like that. It makes me pull out my credit card. It's got this little pole. It's using electricity. You want to talk about waste, dude. We are wasting. That lady's driving around in a little electric cart pretending to save energy, but that energy came from fossil fuel. She had to store it. We had to build it. It required petroleum. Then she's got to have a little outfit. And then somebody stabs her in the face because they don't like the ticket. So then we get to send people to jail. Then we send people to hospitals. Like, the amount of shit that we're not going to have to deal with. Now, y'all are going to hate it. And I'm going to hate it because every time I go 108, I'm going to get a little, Jetsons message. Oh, you just violated the fucking speed limit. And by the way, you can no longer drive.
Yeah.
Right. Which is the transition into robotic cars. You can't have me on the road doing 108, dude. And you got robotic cars following the rules, right? Everybody's following the rules. So we're just we're converging on this analog to digital moment, just like we were with the wheel. Can you imagine, dude? First time somebody saw a wheel, it's going to run over people. People are going to die. Imagine when they saw fire, bro. Okay, if I brought fire to the table, you thought I was Jesus Christ. Like, oh, what about like the witches who brought medicines from the trees and the plants? They were considered to be mystics, right? So we're just moving into this world of more information, more accurate information. It really concerns me about all these monkeypox things and now the COVID, because I think we're really close to being able to solve so many medical problems if we get out of our own way. Again, it's the old, for instance, DNA. If they could really calculate DNA properly in the future, they're going to be able to isolate what type of drugs I respond to. Like, my DNA has to respond differently to certain drugs than your DNA, right? My DNA responds to a different chick than you do. Like, you might look at a girl and go, oh, your chemistry, everything goes off. I'm like, nah, not for me, dude. Not even close. It's all kind of harmonics, frequency, smells, whatever. Maybe like, I don't need a lot of protein. I don't eat a lot of anything. I'll bet you my DNA says, hey, do not give this cat a lot of calories. I don't like a lot of calories. Okay. And I'm not going to eat meat every day. Like, this carnivore thing, I'm like, it's not good for me. Like, there's nothing in me that wants to eat meat every day. So I just think we're all a little different, right? And if we just, instead of manipulating all these things, we just accept that we're unique and we all need something unique. Pharmaceutical companies can't just go make a pill and bingo, everybody's going to look like Sam tomorrow morning. So anyway, sorry to go on. There's not a lot of news. And therefore, I think what's important is, hey, let's not get caught up in a bunch of bullshit, chaos. Bitcoin's at 58, 59. You should be buying the shit. It's a gift. My doctor called me. Hey, man, you still like it? I'm like, dude, I would, at 57, like, I'd sell my girlfriend. Okay. Like, punk her out, man. So now the good news is, if we want some positive news, the amount of money getting ready to flow into Bitcoin and these industries, dude, there's so much money getting ready to come into this market. I've been raising money for Node 40 for 3 years. It's been, nah, Well, no, question. Now it's like 7 people in line because everybody's like, whoa, dude, y'all built what? So it's becoming clear now that we are literally moving down the digital roadmap, a highway, and carrying a bunch of, this is the point. This is probably about the only thing I'm going to carry into the past, into the future. It's really because I don't think technology's really gotten to a point where I can put something on a screen and it's mine. Like I did it. And maybe that's just my old thinking, but there's something magic about writing something down. And I don't know. It's just, for me, something, you notice I like everything printed, right? I just like to look at shit. There's just something about, I remember it better if I'm writing it down. So
how do you think the conference we're about to go to is going to compare to Bitcoin Nashville? Like, do you think we're going to see different types of players? And what made me think of that when you're talking about the money that's going to move in. I mean, we've looked at some of the speakers. I mean, are you seeing like this is a more condensed, more elite form of what we saw in Nashville, or just a different crowd altogether?
This is very, very different. There won't be any crypto bros. None. There won't be any, outrageous costumes. CEOs, investment bankers, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, T10, Andreessen Horowitz, Andrew Scaramucci, Loomis is there, a whole ton of, that's why you're going. You handle the politicians and let me handle the players. Kraken's there. Several of our partners at Node 40 are there. No, bro, this is going to be 2.5 days. I'll get more done in the next 2 days than I got done in Nashville. And we'll end up, I told Perry's the CEO of Node 40. And I said, hey, bro, get ready to get overwhelmed with customers and potential investors. So, because I know going to these shows, I'm so glad we did what we did at Node 40. Just to brag a little bit. Sorry. We have probably 10 or 12 competitors that raised $300 million between the 10 of them. Wow. $300 million in 2021. If you raise money, if you listen to my twin brother, all the real estate that's a problem was bought in 2021, and they were bought on short-term rates. So now they're upside down. They paid too much, and the rates went against them, went from 0 to 5, right? So all that 21 real estate's got to get wiped out. It gets wiped out, repriced, and recontracted, meaning that there's a new owner and an old owner defaults. If you look at if you look at the same thing going on here, all the money's freed up now. The 10 or 12 competitors we have, what did they do? When you raise $130 million, one company, $130 million, they had $5 or $7 million of revenue. They sell 10% of their company for $1.5 billion. Had hundreds of people, hired 35 salespeople, dude. The problem is the market wasn't ready. They had a product they were ready to sell, but the market was literally not ready for them. 2.5 years later, sometimes we will argue, and I'm like, well, we don't have a sales team. And Perry's like, yeah, we need a sales team. I'm like, for what, dude? You would have incurred $1.5 million over that 3 years, and you would have not sold any more clients than we sold. And what we did was, instead of selling and having marketing guys selling into a market that had no clue what they actually need, nor do they have a requirement from the regulators, the IRS. Now we have a requirement that starts January the 1st. We were able to spend 3 years building the solution market really, 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 really needed, based on survey, re-question, deal with a client, but dealing with monsters, right? We probably didn't have more than 15 clients, but they were doing billions of transactions. So it allowed us to build a institutional model. Now the market's ready for it. And you've heard me say this before. Hey, don't be first. Bitcoin's the only first thing I've ever invested in. Most of our clients, dude, are coming to us because they are with an existing player who failed to provide what the client actually needed and wanted. Whether the client knows what they need or want when you board them, that's not their problem. None of these clients know what they really want or need. We're basically picking a client up. Guy calls us up and says, hey, can you match this price? And we're like, fuck, no, we can't. Stupid, dude. $8,000. That ain't taken. Well, how much is it? 38. Oh, it's 50. Oh, could you make up for the $8,000? No, dude. I don't need to make up for the $8,000 because the truth is 50 is actually a discount for you. Like next year, I'll be at $100,000 on this shit all day long. And we'll get that client. Okay. Client goes from $8,000 to $50,000 first year. I'll never lose this client because he's already had his bad experience, man. He's had his bad experience. Go, oh, that's what I get for $8,000. I'm not doing that anymore. Plus, I'll bring them shitload of clients. I mean, there's just so much synergy here. So, this is about pricing things right. This is also about leading at the right time. There's no sense in going to a baseball game if it's raining cats and dogs. Okay, now it doesn't mean that I don't practice on my baseball. Right? I can practice on the base, but no sense in me going to the field, dude. This is what people are doing. Literally, oh, I raised some money, so let's go. Oh, we got to go to Money 2020 and we got to go to Bitcoin conference. There aren't not any buyers at the Bitcoin conference, dude. They don't go. The whales go to that Bitcoin conference, right? So it's just where I'm trying to head with all this is whatever worked 4, 5, 6 years ago, it's not going to work in the future. Subscription payments at $48 forever. You can't cancel. That's fucking done. Oligopolies and monopolies charging way too much for shit. You see this little thing, dude, that Apple just did? Tap
where they pay. You can send money just by touching phones.
P2P, baby, P2P, okay? You think that we're going to do that in the analog system? Do you know how fucking significant that is? I would be shitting my pants if I'm Visa. Okay, Visa, MasterCard paid Apple to go away for 10 years. Okay, they paid Apple. Okay, yeah, we'll use your platform. Well, they're just, they let them in and they give them a little piece, man, through the whole Apple Pay thing.
I didn't know that.
They're terrified of Apple, bro. They should be terrified of Elon. Okay, because everyone's going to do this phone. As soon as one player does it, they all do this shit. You know how cool that is, bro? Like I'm Venmoing and Zelling people, Venmoing. I would rather do it digitally. But if the fucking banks let me move $100,000 on Zelle and don't charge me anything for it, works for me. Shit, dude. I don't care if it's not Bitcoin. In fact, awesome. It's not Bitcoin. It's fiat. I get to move trash all the time, like it's a perfect digital product. I'm good to go. I've got the bank calling me going, hey, look, we don't want you to call us anymore for wires. Okay, we'll make it really easy for me. They send me this form. Dude, these people are dead. Okay, this is a top 15 bank in the United States. Fucking dead. You cannot send me an instruction form that is this long, man. Literally going, okay, if you're going to do your wires, dude, you need all this. I'm like, I'm not doing all this stuff, dude. I can use Bitcoin. I don't need to go through you. It's clunky, messy. You can't, it's just, and what are they doing, right? What they're doing is they're literally trying to use all the infrastructure they have today to build for the future. And like, no, you can't do that. You have to build new. Like Elon did not build NASA's program and go, we're going to use your the non-reentry system. He rewrote the whole thing, right? Like you have to just look at this differently. I think it's very, very exciting. See, to me, this is more exciting than, what's the price of Bitcoin? I haven't even looked, quite frankly. It's 59, 58. I mean, I'm not going to talk about price every 12 minutes. It's just so boring to me. It's immature. Okay, actually, I will just say it. It's very immature. And it tells me that people are waiting for a really instant pop. I don't need instant gratification on this trade. I mean, quite frankly, I'd like to see the fucking thing go to 50,000. I'd like it to melt down and punk out all of these little whiners. And don't think that the big boys don't understand that the Bitcoin market is extremely weak. The internal native Bitcoin market is extremely weak. It's fragmented. It doesn't cooperate with each other, and it doesn't have any more money. That's the fact.
Can you dive deeper into that? What exactly do you mean by that? Like, what are we looking at when you say it doesn't have any more money or that it's weak?
Well, one, I think the community is weak intellectually. Overall, that old community 3 years ago, remember, I'm saying everything that happened 3 to 5 years ago, okay?
Yeah.
If you're living in a paradigm that was existing 5+ years ago, I think you're at massive risk. Notice hardly anything I do, like has anything to do with the past, right? Except me wanting to print things and write things. It's just because I remember better that way. But I really don't look at, I mean, I have 40 emails in my thing this weekend on real estate deals and this. I don't even look at them, dude. Delete, 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 delete. I see the way my brother's coming around, how long it's taken him. Guarantee he's buying Bitcoin right now. I don't know that, and I don't want him to tell me, but I guarantee he's picking up some Bitcoin here. And it'll be wedges of this shit. And he'll be a little scared doing it, but he'll also keep going, okay, location, 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 location. Okay, right. So, but what I mean is I think the people that got us here, not Michael Saylor, the people before him, they're tapped out. I mean, I heard a funny story the other day at Bitcoin Nashville. He said, you know, all these big whales go in, meet with Saylor and go, hey, can I borrow $5 million? And they all walk away going, dude, I thought you owned 10,000 Bitcoin. I thought you'd been in here since 2000. You notice people go, hey, how long have you been here? When was the first time you bought your Bitcoin? That's a bad question. Okay. I like asking the question because I want to hear the answer. If it's 300, my next question is, what's your average cost? 300. Well, you're a fucking idiot, dude. Because your average cost should have gone up every day for the last 10 years. Your average cost should be in the thousands now. You stopped buying Bitcoin, dude. Whoa. Wow. Okay. You got 100 Bitcoin. That's awesome, dude. But you could have bought so much more Bitcoin. So I think and then many of the guys that won the lottery, they then thought, I'm a businessman. I'm going to go build a miner. I'm going to go build a software company like Gary's building. Oh, really? Well, what do you know about going into business? Nothing. I won a fucking lottery. But no one will admit they won the lottery. If you can't admit you won the lottery, the first time when I retired at 41 or 42, I walked away going, that was just luck. Total luck, dude. For years, I was like, nobody really knows if that was a 1, 2, 3 shot wonder, or can I repeat this? You're only going to know it if you can repeat it, if you go repeat it. But I had to go repeat it because I'm like, that could have been like just big company taking care of Gary and he hit some grand slams, but can he hit them today? A one-shot wonder does all it shows you is the guy made some money once. But show me a guy that made money after he got his head ripped off his head, okay, or had a lawsuit, or had to spend, or not only had a lawsuit, lost his family, had all types of weird tragedies, right? Like everything's against the guy, but he still keeps going. That's the guy I like. That's the other thing. I'm shocked at the amount of people that invest with people that have no track record, man. I mean, like, wow, you're going to give a physics engineer $20 million, and he's going to be the CEO. But he doesn't like people. Interesting. See, I'd make me the CEO, and he would be the fucking PhD doctor who brings in real information behind me, right? But he's not going to know how to. Einstein didn't make a lot of money, man. Right? He wasn't super rich. I mean, I don't think he was. Tesla ended up broke. Probably too naive for his own good. I hope Elon's not like that. I don't think he is. I think he got stung a couple of times. He's like, okay, I'm going to just do everything by myself, which is the right thing for him. So yeah, I think the Bitcoin native purists are tapped out. Half their families are probably frustrated the price isn't at 180 and they couldn't go buy that nice that nice island they imagined doing. Maybe that somebody in their family got sick. Maybe their brother, went to jail and they had big expenses. I'm hiring somebody right now that's taking care of their family. It's all involved in a judgment, a lawsuit, and a divorce. And this lady's like, hey, man, I need to show $250,000 of pay so my niece doesn't get taken. There's a lot of really cool people in the world, dude, that help families. Like I had a date this weekend, and girl's woke up one day, and she's got two, a 12-year-old and a 15-year-old to take care of, two boys, dude. She's 40 years old, 38 years old. She woke up one morning, and their parents are dead. What are these two kids going to do, dude? This chick makes 120. Like she doesn't have a lot. Okay. And she's like, what the fuck am I doing raising two kids, two boys? Shit happens. And that's why I love the Bitcoin play, because it's like, wow, I basically have a business without having some of the associated risk related to running a business. My CEO at Node 40, his family's ill right now, right? Like that. And he's an awesome human being. And I'm sure it's not massively impacted our business, but you can't say it has no impact, right? It most certainly has impact on him. The happier and more productive he is, the more happy I think the business is going to be, right? He's going to be more focused. He doesn't have anything else on his mind. So yeah, I think they're tapped out. There's no money, and you can look at it in the market and realize, oh, there's no buyers here. There's no spot buyers, right? There's no Bitcoin native buyers. And that means they're probably sellers. Net, they're probably, weaker hands. All you got to do is that, hey, where are the weak hands? Are they the old hands or the new hands? Dude, they're most certainly the old hands. These new hands, Goldman's got $500 million, and it's not even significant to them. Like that is a rounding error for Goldman, right? And that's the way people need to understand, oh, wow, that's their first move, dude. I mean, Franklin Templeton's been here 13 years. You want to talk about somebody that no one pays any attention to? Franklin Templeton. Fucking awesome.
They'll be at the conference.
Oh, I have to meet her, dude. She is one of the most impressive people I have ever heard. I would make sure you get a breakfast. Dude, this woman is really, really impressed. I would go work for this woman, actually. I was so impressed with her in an interview. See, now there's a company. I look at that company and I'm like, wow. Wonder how big they are. But they've been working on crypto, blockchain, and digital assets for literally 11 or 12 years. That's a type of old style company that I'd be like, now these guys might survive it, right? And maybe the whole maybe the whole company doesn't survive it, but you could easily spin off a digital division. I mean, bro, could you imagine what some of these companies are worth if you could literally pull out their digital division and they're making 80, 100 million in EBITDA a year? Fucking multiples would be 30 or 40x. Or a really savvy commercial business reporting analytics tool like I have combines with a miner, and the miner really has real earnings now. Now, why would I do that? Shit, I'll just have a business and become my own miner, right? I mean, why bother doing a deal with someone else? You could just mine Bitcoin at 59 grand, not even deal with any of the capital costs. Just create a business that throws off cash flow. So this is a mindset thing. You met Rob Massey, right? We need to have Rob Massey on our show again. I should probably do that as soon as possible. Rob is hopefully this doesn't get him or me in trouble, but he is the lead transformational guy at Deloitte. Deloitte has 2,000 people in the digital division, man. Okay, Deloitte probably has 1 million people that work for them. I think KPMG is about 800,000. So let's call it 1 million people. They got 2,000 people in digital. That's it. Like, that would be the division I'd want to work in at Deloitte. If your company has a digital division, I would run over there and get on my knees to get a job. If they don't have a digital division, I'd run over to the CEO and go, hey, can I open a digital division for you? Can I just do research for 6 months? And if there's nothing there, you can fire me. Now, you might want to call me first, depending on what your company does. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, I just think that if you don't have a digital division, you're not going to be there. I read something the other night that said, hey, in 5 years, if you're not a media company, you won't be here. I think that could be true, actually, dude. Like, there's a lot of things all coming together now. Now, the government may not allow you to be a media company and be a provider. That I guess, I don't know what the government's going to do. They seem like they just want to put in a lot of control. I'm really watching Canada and the UK. This really concerns me as an entrepreneur. What I see going on in these two countries, I'm like, whoa, man, these people are just violating every one of their own rules, resetting the table, which is what they should be doing. They should be resetting the table for the future. I just don't think that their strategy is right. But they're at least responding. That they are. You do see them responding. Hey, we got to take different action, but it's not the right action. This is not being thought through properly. The people don't understand. Hey, we have left the ski slope now. Like, we're going down now. Like, you're not going to reverse this digital gravity, right? It makes too much sense. The Apple phone thing, that's a big deal, dude. And no one notices it really. I'm like, wow, that should have been really, really important news. Hey, I'm going to probably need to blow out here a little bit early, if you don't mind.
No,
Sam.
we can
keep going if you want.
No, we're good. I mean, we're just 5 minutes early. So you want to just give us the phrase and then we'll call it quits?
Well, let's just check the comments out real quick. I'll be right there with you.
You had one starred comment. Gary, get Scaramucci on to defend Harris price controls and rent cap policies, please. No one should hate Donald Trump that much to vote for that stuff. That was our one starred comment.
Sorry, buddy. And they said what? One starred comment?
Yeah, they gave us $5 and they said, Gary, get Scaramucci on to defend Harris's price controls.
Yeah, I can get Scaramucci on. I'll get him on in a couple weeks. The thing is, though, I have to be really careful. And I'm seeing him tonight. And I'm actually going to chat with him, actually, because I like Anthony, okay? I don't know why he's got such a boner for Trump. And maybe we'll never do business together because it's so political. I've never been like that. It is hard for me, even though I like the guy, it's hard for me to hear some of his comments because it's pretty aggressive. More importantly, I don't, and I think this would be the question that I would ask him and about 4 other big heavy hitters. Guys, how do you justify, as your leaders of Bitcoin, I mean, really, you are. These people are spokesmen for Bitcoin. How do you possibly support Gensler, the Democrats, the Bidens, the Kamala Harrises, or whoever is running the show? I do not believe Biden and Harris are running anything. I don't think they can run their bladder. And I don't think they ever could. Okay, this is not about, mental decapacity. It's like, well, dude, the guy's not done anything. The entire group has not done anything. By the way, I don't think the Republican National Convention has done anything. I would never give them a penny, and I wouldn't give any other third-party consolidated group any money. I'll give an individual. Look, this we need to vote for individuals, not groups. This red and blue thing is a fucking mistake. Okay, this is exactly why marriages break down, because you have a two-party system, and you can never find a neutral, truly neutral third-party arbitrator that says, "Hey, this is unfair." And so I don't know how we change this unless the red and the blue go away completely. The whole system, like, you see what I'm saying? Whole system's got to break. That's why I think we have to end up in a depression or a war, because I think you need a breaking point. You need a reset which is, by the way, what the bad guys are trying to do. They want to reset, and it's called prison and taxation, right? And censorship. I'm saying that we do need a reset, and that reset, see, Stephen Diaz got it. This is the problem right here. And that's what George Washington told us, that you can't have a two-party system. I think it was George Washington.
Yeah, it was.
So, So Scaramucci is a key opinion leader. He's more than a key opinion leader too. He is a big supporter and sponsor of Bitcoin. I don't get how they can support a community of people that have just been treacherous toward us, man. I do not believe anybody can say that we have had too little enforcement from regulatory authorities. It seems like they're betting, they're placing bets on their buddies, and they're choosing winners and losers. And that's not what regulators are supposed to do. They're supposed to let the market work. If you let the market work, I get to win, dude, because I'm smart. I'm not any smarter than anybody else, but I've been here before. I don't need an edge, but I also don't need I don't need to come into the game with a minus 37 points. Like, I already show most everybody that's listening to this, you all show up with negative 3 points. Okay. Let's face it. Grow up. Big fucking, at least I get to play here, dude. Like, if I'm in India, I got negative 30 points. If I'm in England, I have negative 10. If I'm in England and I have this accent, I'm flat. I actually get more value. So that's just the fucking way of the world, right? When we have monopoly structures and people that know people, but at least let me go operate and know what the rules are. That's why I just think people with a free mind, if you look into the future, it's so right for people that can put teams together and navigate a world where everything that we've ever had has to get rebuilt. I think these things, we talked about these things aren't going to be around in 2 years. We're going to have a different thing. Okay. We are going to have a different thing. Maybe it's 3 years. But whatever's happening, it's really exciting. And it's either going to be good for your family or bad for your family. And I think it will be highly correlated to the action you took today and yesterday. So I'll end with, and this is a new little strategy. Got a few people in here. I guess I got to get my blue check mark back.
It'll come back in a day or two.
Yeah. What we're saying, guys, is this doesn't post on Twitter because my blue check mark went away. But listen, you guys do something nice for someone today. When the volume of people gets so large in here that we're all doing something really wonderful and nice for other people and not advertising it, the world will become a better place. These are ripples, okay? These are positive ripples in the universe. I believe in them. And I would encourage y'all to do that. I will do that today. Even the people that maybe I don't want to be nice to, those are the ones that you need to be the most nice to, and it really pays off. So what do you got, Sam?
No, I think that's a perfect ending. Guys, you'll see us potentially this evening on Twitter Spaces. If not, tomorrow live. We'll be around. We got a conference to go to. We'll let you know how it goes. We'll be busy, but we'll see you soon.
Yeah, we'll do some taping. We might not do Spaces tonight because we're probably going to be in the air, but we'll do some taping, and there'll be some really cool people there. So looking forward to it. All right, see you guys. Peace out.